fast-track prototyping.
Part of the dynamic of these projects is we're making them really fast. We don't have as many people as we could have on the project. All this adds a little bit to it.
Meanwhile, up in the lair, now that Joe and Zaz have the answers they need from analyzing the trapeze artist's fall, Zaz has finally figured out his code and used it to program Joe's custom circuit board. Now, with only a few days left, they've built a little prototype of their own, and it's ready for a test.
We have the electronics up here, our custom circuit board with the relays, the accelerometer. Down here is an airbag with a special payload. What we're going to do is mount this box on this platform, go really far away, pull the string, see what happens.
It better work. This is the final test of the sensor package, which should deploy the airbag about halfway down.
Keep your fingers crossed.
The sensor that activates the airbag deployment is a very important part of the build. If this doesn't work, it's back to the drawing board.
That looks shaky.
So I got the power?
Yes. Stand back just in case.
All right, it's all hooked up. Now let's get the hell away from here.
Get out of here.
Soon, they're prepped and at a safe distance. When Zaz pulls the string, the airbag inside the box should inflate when it detects a fall greater than 10 feet.
3, 2, 1.
But the box smacks down hard.
It was spinning too much.
Maybe.
This project is in free fall, and if they can't get the airbag working, there's not a safety net in sight. Coming up,
we're all gonna run that way.
The stuntman arrives for the big day. But the final test is a very rude awakening.
It actually blew apart the aluminum.
And later, it's high time for the leap of faith. Is this build headed for disaster? The team at Prototype This is attempting to create a safety solution for the new millennium. A personal airbag that would protect you from a high fall by sensing your descent and inflating on the way down, allowing you to land safely. Aside from the modifications Mike and Terry agreed needed to be made to the aluminum puck airbag transitions,
You're going to remake these pieces with a smaller bowl?
This would actually be really easy.
the mechanical side is right on track. But with only 2 days left in this 2-week build, the electronic side is still very much a work in progress. Joe and Zaz set up a test for their airbag trigger mechanism, but it fell flat. A person crashing down from that height could be fatal, so it's essential that they get this right.
It's really important that we iron out all these small problems before the final integration of this airbag with all these different components, because any small problem that we don't catch could end up being a huge problem later on.
Turns out the problem wasn't their error at all.
You know, we were pretty angry, like what could have gone wrong? So the only thing left that we couldn't rule out was a defective airbag.
I didn't know airbags could fail, but the one we used actually did, so it's a little bit scary.
A quick part replacement, and it's take 2.
Rock and roll. 3, 2, 1. Yeah!
The second take is perfect and reveals a delicious treat.
Popcorn! Oh, I love this surprise for me.
The most important part of the personal airbag has passed a crucial test with flying colors.
Yeah, and now we can hook this up to the airbag itself.
And with only a day left, it's time for integration. Everyone's got a job to do.
I think we're waiting for a few different things. North is fitting all the airbags to their part of the pucks. Terry's spending all his time doing the pucks and these flow limiters. And Joe A is getting the backpack stuff together. So this is lots of little last-minute pieces that have to come together.
With the AirTechs attached to the harness, Zaz tries the rig on for size.
Yeah, actually that feels like it's hardly even there. This build has a special factor that's particularly significant that some of the other builds might not, and that is that a human has to wear it. In this harness, it actually, you can barely feel it's there.
Quality, huh?
Joe hooks up the circuit board that will act as the electronic trigger.
It looks awesome.
Well, I think we've barely got some room in here for you.
Cool. So this is going to mount in here.
And like everything else, it's a compromise.
My hose loose. The only problem is if we have any bugs that we need to get access to the hardware, if we need to resolder something, it's going to be sort of a pain because we have to take off so many different panels. But I guess it's worth the risk.
Even though Joe Andreas finds a home for the circuit board, Joe Grand's still concerned, and with good reason.
There's a processor laying down here. I wonder if Joe needs that.
Just gonna take it apart, tighten things down, make sure that it's good and safe. Because if the electronics break, we don't have an automatically detecting personal airbag. So hopefully they're not gonna break.
While Joe takes the wrinkles out of the trigger mechanism with a soldering iron, Mike puts his airbag with Terry's modified pucks onto the harness and gives it a quick fill-up.
Gives you an idea for the first time, though.
Yeah, it's good. It's a beautiful looking bag.
We have 3 vents on the side, 3 vents on each side, 1 on the back, just in case you land on this. You still get some venting over here.
Awesome.
Soon, they're ready for the first complete test of the personal airbag. The team invites Tim, the stuntman, and his safety coordinator, Mike, to take a look at what Tim will be wearing in the final test.
We're about to do the first inflation test, and so that's going to be kind of the acid test for how the bags inflate and so on, and for you guys to watch it and see what you think and whether you'd be willing to put it on.
We're all going to run that way really fast and put on our ear goggles. And 3, 2, 1, poof, let's see what happens. Let's see if our dummy's still here when we're done. Everyone's ready?
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1. What the hell?
The results leave the team almost speechless.
That was unexpected.
That
it actually blew apart the aluminum.
Did it really?
It's a major engineering blunder. When the aluminum pucks were hit by the force of the airflow, they had a catastrophic blowout. The airbag won't work without them holding fast. And this project has taken a nosedive.
Well,
it couldn't hold that much pressure.
Back to the drawing board on my part.
Coming up,
3,
the stuntman takes the plunge.
1.